Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is March 1st, 2021. We're in the first day of the new trading month, and we are in the final hour of the trading day. The final hour is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions. During the day, you have the algorithms and you have the day traders. They are the ones are in control of the price during the middle of the day. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in. They take over because they are buying and selling so many shares. So they take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms. I consider what they do at the end of the day to be a long-term edge in your trading. So that is why I make the majority of my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day in the last few minutes right before the market closes. So I appreciate everyone coming today. It's always nice to have everyone. I really look forward to this time of the day and see my friends in the group. So thank you all for coming, everybody. Hope you had a nice weekend. Currently, the Dow is up a whopping 711 points, up 2.31%. The NASDAQ up 401 points, up over 3%, which is a huge day on any index. And the S&P is up 101 points, up 2.66%. So big day today. Hooray for us, right? Having a good day. So here is the plan for today's podcast. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have 3 nice day trades today, two on TLT, one on Apple, and I will share those with you. After that, we're going to go over to the board and we're going to take a look at my students' trades. And looking over there right now, it looks pretty dang green and looks pretty good. So we'll go over that. After that, I do want to talk a little bit about trader psychology before we start looking for the best end of day trade. Keeping your emotions in check, being able to manage your emotions in trading is an extremely difficult thing to do. At least it has been for me, but I've got a pretty good handle on it because I have rules and I based my moves on the rules, but you need something to be able to keep you in check and to keep you disciplined, whether that's rules, whether that's a friend or a girlfriend or boyfriend, husband or wife looking over, checking your trades. That helps. I can tell you from experience. So we're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology, and hopefully if I mention things a different way each day, maybe one day it will really click with you. After that, I have gone down through the results of my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I do have 3 requirements before I'm looking to before I'm looking to enter a trade. The first requirement is I need to have a confluence or combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Requirement number 2, I need to make sure I have a good risk to reward, at least 2 to 1. If I'm willing to risk $100 on the trade based upon strong support below me, I need to be able to make 200 or more to the upside to make the trade worthwhile based upon strong and likely resistance above me. And then step number 3 is kind of a hodgepodge of a lot of things. Please take a few minutes before you press the buy button. Ask yourself, do I really need this trade? Is it really important? Do I already have stocks in this industry? Do I really need more? What's my account heat? In other words, what percent of my capital do I have at risk in any one trades? And then also, very important, to position size based upon the volatility of current market conditions. When the volatility increases, you should reduce your position size to compensate for that. When the volatility decreases, you should increase your position size to compensate for that. So I'm going to go down through the end of the day candidates. There are quite a few, and so I'm just going to go through each one, fine-tooth comb, try to find the very best one that fits my criteria the best. And if I do find something at the end of the day, I will go ahead and purchase it before the market closes. After the market does close, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. Happy to answer them. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at, please let me know. I'm happy to take a look at those. I changed the format of the podcast around so that we do have more time to look at your setups and to answer questions. So feel free to go ahead and do that. And then lastly, if any of my students that have positions up on the board, if you have any new additions for me or any new subtractions for me today, if you could please wait till the end of the day. That way I'm done trading, pressure's off. And so when it's all finished up, market's closed, then we'll spend as much time as we need to get the board updated correctly with your current positions. Okay, so hang tight. I am going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, well, let's take a look and see who is here today. Johan is here. Good to see you, Captain Johan. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a nice evening in Hong Kong. I did get your email, so I will get back to you on that. Lava74 is here. Good to see you, Lava, as always. Appreciate you being here and for your support. Hope you're having a good day. Gary is also here. Hello, Greg and group. Happy Monday. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Hey, I sent you an email with an idea. So if you get a chance, take a look and let me know what you think. Johnson is here. Good to see you. Hello, Greg and Gossett team. Hello, Mr. Johnson. Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you are having a good day as always. Thanks for the results of your scanner, your friendship, and for being here. Appreciate that. Hello, Steve Burns. Good to see you, my friend. Always an honor and a privilege to have Steve here. I really mean that. I am sure everyone else feels the same way. Steve says, hello, everyone. What a whipsaw today. Yeah, this was really kind of out of the blue, especially with Friday's close, man. Miko25 is here. Good afternoon, Greg and group. Hello, Miko. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Dave says, hi, Greg and Gregorian traders. I always get a kick out of that. Hey, Dave. Good to see you, bud. Dan is here. Hi, Greg and Gossets. Hey, Dan. Good to see you. Mamal is here. Nice to see you, Mamal. Appreciate you coming back. Please let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Tracy is here. Good to see you, Trace. Nice to see that your BYD is up nicely today. Steve says chart signals on my radar today: ABNB, CTLT, KMX, Monster. I better write these down. Let's see. ABNB, CTLT, KMX. Monster, QLD, really? QQQ. I haven't looked at QLD for a minute. TER and VRM. I have to see how it closes. Is AGQ, are we ready for a cross? Is that what's happening? I don't see a cross yet. Maybe something else I'm missing out on. Frank is here. Good to see you, Frank. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. Morgs is here. Good to see you, Morgs. Hope you're doing well. Love it says EXC and CAG are both under over 30 RSI. All right. Let's see. I have my backup charts in case I can't get today's reading. Ah, there it is. Oh, man. Thank goodness. Yes, under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third channel. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. At least it gives you a good risk to reward ratio with that 200 right below you. Very good. Okay, car gurus. I do have today's as well. Yep, under 30, over 30. This one's currently under the 200, though. Have to see how that one closes. Paxton is here. Good to see you, Packy. Hope you're having a good day. Steve says VRM and AB&B 520 crossovers may hold for my buy signals. See, on this one, I don't have a 20-day, so I can't put that in context. And VRM, oh yeah, VRM does have the 520 crossover. So let me, as a matter of fact, oh, I don't have it there. Okay. So let me do a little math on VRM. All right, and I'm going to put that down over here. There are quite a few today, no doubt about that. Bitcoin is close to a 520 EMA crossover. Yeah, also a BTC. Okay, so I'm looking here. I don't see the crossover, but I do see the return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside in the V1. I do see that one. All right, well, let's get started on my current positions and we'll see what's happening here. Okay, AdVibe. Kamal, Gary, and I did buy AdVibe back here on the 22nd of February. We bought it 107.17. Bullish engulfing bar, higher low V1. Next day went sideways, held the stop. Big day up the next day, took some profits. Last couple days down, but recover. But it is up 1.01% today, and I did hit one profit target, so nicely up on the trade on AdVibe. Amazon, Mamal, Carlos, Kamal, Johan, David, and myself, we did buy Amazon on Friday with this nice V1 rejection of the -1 ATR or -3rd ATR channel and the close above the 200-day moving average. Did we know it was going to go up? We absolutely did not, but we did know where our stop was, our end of day stop was below us, which is a close below the 200. Up nicely today, up 1.63% on this deep dip buy, confluence of deep dip buy signals. And I did sell one profit target, got rid of 10% of the position at 31.27. It's 31.44, up on 1.67%. Eli Lilly, Kamal, Quad Racer, and myself, we did buy Eli Lilly with this false breakout to the downside and a V1. Bought at 202.48. Next day moved up nicely for us. Day sidewards, up in reverse, and up today, up 1.08% again. And I did hit one profit target at 207.19. So this one looks good. SPY, wow, well, had a big overnight SPY trade, that's for sure. I bought yesterday or Friday at the close at 380.36. I sold this morning at the open at 385.65, so almost 5 points on the gap up. So that was a fantastic trade. It was a little squirrely the last 10 days or so, but this is a big gap, so I'm very grateful for that. I'll buy that today at the close. Qs. All right, so I did short the Qs 2 Fridays ago at 330.74. Above, over 70, under 70, V1, bearish double top, and I nailed that one pretty good. I shorted at 330.74. Last week, of course, we had the big down day. I did hit 3 profit targets at profitable levels, took 30% of the trade off. It did move more than 1.5 ATRs for my entry. So at this point, my stop on this trade will be if it gets back to break even, but it will still be a profitable trade, remember, because I did lock in profits on 30%. That's if it goes up here. So that's my stop. I'm not going to put too much energy into this. I mean, it was a great trade, and here you're kind of free rolling because I know no matter what, I'm not going to lose money on this trade. Well, I guess there is a way, but unlikely. And it might head back down, in which case I have the short. So this not doing well this week, but last week did really well. WBA, well, I missed this one on Friday. It closed below halfway of the washout bar at 48.18. I just missed it at the end of the day. It was above with like 10 minutes to go. I thought we were good. It closed below. I did hold it. I put in my profit targets. Luckily, I hit one today at 48.48 before it reversed. But I will be getting out of this one, and this will be a loss, but I will be closing this one out today, unless for some miracle we can close above 48.18. But all right. WSM has been a really nice trade. I believe that Lilia is in this trade. I don't know why I don't have her name up here. Let's see. Lilia, and I bought Williams-Sonoma back here at 127.58. Return to value, false breakouts to the downside, bullish on Golfing Bar, V1. Moved up the next day, came down. This was a shakeout bar if there ever was one, but that's why I wait till the end of the day to make my decisions. I kept it. We moved up. Up nicely today, up another 2.76%. I did hit two profit targets here at 133.80 at 135.71. It has got to my 1.5 ATR trailing stop level, which is great. So at this point, worst we can do is go back to break even, barring some kind of gap. At this point, being at trailing stop level, I'm just looking for a close below the previous low. Okay. So that one's all looking pretty good. TLT. All right. So I did have some trades on TLT today. TLT are bonds. First trade I had on TLT was this higher low V1. We closed below the value zone. We came into the value zone. We came back down. We had a V1. We rejected the -1 ATR channel. Next bar went up nicely for me. So I got in at 140.34 next bar. I took half like I always do when I have a nice big move. Next bar, reject the 50. I got out right about the same place. And so that was 3/4 of the position at profitable levels. And then here we came back to break even. Whenever I move a certain amount up, if it ever gets back to break even, I just go ahead and get out. But 3/4 of the position was closed at profitable levels. 1/4 was closed at break even. So that is a profitable trade. And here we go. I bought TLT intra-bar here, this false breakout to the downside. I bought it when it triggered the V1 and the false breakout. I bought it 140.72, moved up nicely for me. I took off half, kept moving up, rejected the 50 SMA. I took off the other half, and then here we finally get a close below the previous day's low. So I got in at 140.72. I got out at 140.83, out at 141.03, and 141.27. So those were all good day trades there. And then I had a monster day trade on Apple. Okay, let's take a look here. Here we go. This was the Apple trade. Return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside, right back up with the V1 and a V2, excuse me. Day 1, 2, 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Day 3 closes above day 1's close. Got in at 125.99. Next bar moved strong. I took half. I got out at 126.17. Had some consolidation. Had another big up bar. Sold another half of a half at 126.48. Sold another half of a half when we got to 126.71 on another big up bar, and then we had another big, huge up bar, and that was it. I got out. Really great trade, 127.17. So I got in at 125.99, out at 126.17, out at 126.48, out at 126.71, and out at 127.13. So that was a fantastic, fantastic trade on Apple. Thank you, Apple. And I think that's it. Lilia is here. Good to see you, Lilia. I was just talking about your Williams-Sonoma trade that you and I are in. Thank you so much for coming by and saying hi. Morg says INDA is also close to a 520 crossover. Nigma is here. Hello, good to see you. Let's take a look at Morg's INDA. Wow, did that India one close down big? I don't see the 520. I mean, I see the 520 crossover, but I do not see it as holding as yet, valid as yet. Still under. Frank has a poem for us. I'm excited. I'm always excited about Frank's poems. Let me paste this in here and then we will get right to it. Man, I'm kind of shocked how that India ETF just came down so hard and now rallied just right back, which is good. But Frank says, a top trader must perform like a special forces recruit. Sadly, most fail in their trading pursuit. The market is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. It has no mercy, and that is the truth. That is true. It does not have mercy. A lot of times the market can see very calm and all it does is go up. Excuse me, but for you who've been around for a while and even around the last week, it can sell off violently. So you always have to be careful. Let's read it again. A top trader must perform like a special forces recruit. Sadly, most fail in their trading pursuit. The market is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. It has no mercy, and that's the truth. Fantastic, Frank. Appreciate that, my friend. Great, wonderful, outstanding poem as always. And did I say hello to Enigma? I think I did. Frank says, wow. Or Dan says, Frank, wow. I 100% agree. It's just amazing. It's just amazing, everybody. That's all I can say. I don't know how Frank does it, but it doesn't matter. He does it. All right, let's take a look at your positions and see how things are going. Kamal. Look at Kamal with DraftKings. He entered DraftKings at 61.60 on Friday. It's 68.04, everybody. It's up 10.53%. Is that all who's in, Kamal? Yes, it is. What a beauty trade, Kamal. Congratulations, my friend. Kamal also with Facebook back here at 260.40. We are currently, or 264.30. It's currently 265.85. So it's up on the day, up on the trade. It does have a close under 200. Close under 200, over 200. That is a valid backtest signal on Facebook. But when I look at this particular setup, if you're in it, fantastic. But if you're not in it, this looks a little chasey to me. It could just keep going up. But, I always refer back to risk to reward. This was a much better entry here when it was closer to the 200. This is further extended. And we also have the 50 RSI and the 50 SMA above. But anyway, way to go, Kamal. Nice going, bud. NVAX. Frank has had a beautiful trade on NVAX. It's come down recently, but Frank was savvy and sold 90% of his shares up in this area. If I recall, he bought at 135. It more than doubled. He got rid of 90% of his shares, and he's just hanging on with the 10% trailer. And looks like we have some consolidation going sideways here, though. Recently, so that's good. Maybe we've run out of sellers. Hopefully, Boeing. Kamal bought Boeing back here at 217.50. Initially went down, had a huge move up, Kamal sold half, but he still has half. It's up 5.68% today, everybody. So way to go, Kamal. USO. Tracy bought USO here at 39.91. It has moved up really, really nice, but the last 2 days, big down days. So it is down today on the day, but Tracy, it looks like Tracy is still up on the trade. Tesla finally caught a bid. Quad bought Tesla at 698. It is currently 713.76, up 5.66% today alone, and looking good. BYND. Tracy and Paxton bought BYND back here at 47.38. Beautiful move. Little pullback. A couple days ago, we went over 70, under 70, over the third, under the third. I know they sold half, but they kept the other half, which I'm glad they did because it has rallied strong again there. And I think I put your profit targets on here, Tracy. One at 61.47, one at 62.52, one at 63.57. So it looks to me, if I'm looking at this correctly, that you did hit one profit target today at 61.47. NVTA, Kamal, Johan, and Mamal took a nice trade here on NVTA with the false breakout to the downside, the intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average. I think we're in right here about 40.10 somewhere, up 9.67% today, everybody. Wow. Way to go, Kamal, Johan, and Mamal. And then lastly, CHKP. Kamal bought this intraday today at 111.50. It looks like when it got close to triggering the V2, he bought it at 111.50. It's 113.31. So way to go, everybody. Proud of everybody. Wow. Big moves up today for sure. Okay. Pat is here. Hello, Pat. Nice to see you. Hope everything is going well. I did get your email on your update, but thank you for coming and saying hello. Okay. Let me take a little look over here and see. Okay, there's that. There's that. All right, so we have a lot of different things to look at, and I have a lot of things to make decisions on today. But before we do that, why don't we just head on over to Trader Psychology World and talk a little bit about that before we get involved in anything else. This is a Twitter channel on Twitter, Money Trade Edge, Better Thinking, Better Trading. It's kind of a mouthful, but you can look him up at Money Trade Edge, Better Thinking, Better Trading. And I really got to like this channel because he posts some really great stuff. Sometimes it's really short like this, but it's short and short and sweet and to the point. And I was talking about this with someone else the other day, and you can read it in all sorts of trading books, but it is true. Fear of losing money is the number one reason you are losing money. You guys buy into that? Fear of losing money is the number one reason you are losing money. So how can we break that down? Well, we can break it down as such. If you have a fear of losing money, you are probably going to move your process around. If you have a trade plan, you're probably not going to stick to it. If you have some money, you may circumvent the system by going in and just taking the profits and locking it in. Well, that's breaking your plan. If it goes down, you may decide you do not want to lock in that profit because, hey, if you don't lock it in, it's not a loss. Yes, it is a loss. Don't get caught up into that thinking. People say, well, as long as I don't sell it, I don't have to take a loss. If it's a loss, it's a loss, right? So to the upside, if you're making money and you cut too soon, that is going to cause you to, in the end, to lose money. If you purchase something and it goes down, but your ego will not let you get rid of the position because you don't want to, quote, lock in a loss, that is going to make you lose money as well. Fear of losing money is the number one reason you are losing money. So just going to go back to and say what I always say. Position size correctly. Get comfortable with your maximum allowed loss. If you're completely okay with your maximum allowed loss, then what's the worst that can happen, right? But you have to be okay with that maximum allowed loss. So anyway, please go support him. Money Trade Edge. It's a great channel. Fear of losing money is the number one reason you are losing money. My best remedy for that, come up with a conservative maximum loss allowed. Divide that by the 2 ATR. That will give you all sorts of nice room, and the ultimate end game here is to be able to just follow your plan. Okay, Steve says, yes, that does, Morgs. BTC backtests much like SPY, but with much more volatility. Okay, good. Steve says, one great thing about put options is that it caps losses to the size of the contract. That is a good thing on days like today. The upside can be unlimited. Yeah, that's the thing. That's if you buy a put or if you buy a call, the one good thing about it always is there's a maximum loss. It's a defined risk, which is nice, right? It's defined risk. You have unlimited upside, but you only have a limited defined risk. And that's what Steve's talking about. Buying calls and selling calls compared to, buying calls, buying puts compared to being on the other side and selling them. All right. Before I start looking, I want to take a look at my current position, see if there's anything needed to be done here. Ad vibes, doing great. It's profitable. Profit targets, fantastic. Amazon's doing really good. Intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average, up 50 points today, up 1.62%. Really nothing I have to do with this one. Eli Lilly is a little concerning to me, to be honest with you. And I think most likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell half of Eli Lilly, and I'll explain to you what my thinking is if I can get this chart to work. Okay, here's the previous high. Today we came up, we tested that high and reversed back down. And not only did we reject that high, we also were above the 1 ATR, and right now we are below. It's not the worst signal of all. It is still up nicely on the day, but it is, to me, when I look at this, it's a red flag. It's false breakout to the downside here and a rejection of the -1 ATR channel there. So very likely what I'm going to do today on Eli Lilly from a discretionary standpoint is I'm just going to lock in half. It's been a nice trade so far. I mean, if it were to close above this high over here, yeah, I would keep it. But the rejection of the previous high, the rejection of the -1 ATR channel, it looks a little suspicious. It could look a little weak. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little safety and lock in half of the profits on that. I'll keep in the other half if it keeps going up. SPY, doing great. Of course, nice overnight SPY trade. I'll buy that at the close. My Q's beating me up today, but that's okay. They paid off well last week. Nothing I have to do with the Q's unless it gets back to my break-even point here at 330. WBA, I am definitely getting out. I guess it was a happy accident that it did gap up and I did hit a profit target, but it's down today on a big up day. It's all concerning. It's below my stop loss. I'll just go ahead and take the loss on this. WBA, Lilly and I, nice return to value, bullish engulfing bar, 127.58. I did hit 2 profit targets today. I don't know, Lil, did you hit 2 profit targets as well? But this one looks fine. It did get up to the 65 RSI, by the way. So whenever things get up to the 65 RSI, I will now use a close below the 5 EMA as my trailing stop. Unless it goes up and rejects the 70, then I have moves up there as well. But this has been a great trade. Let's see, I haven't even really looked, have I? Yeah, up 5.52% from entry. And I think that's it. Quad says, Greg, one thing I have not seen discussed is when you decide whether to buy shares of a stock versus buying calls puts on the stock. You know, I do not usually buy calls on a stock. I usually don't buy puts on a stock either. If I buy puts, it's usually on an index. You know, as you know, what I do most with options is that I sell puts. I don't buy them, but I sell them, and I do that when large big monster stocks have had a big sell-off. I want to participate in it without taking any real shares, possession of any shares, but I feel like it's pretty, you know, that it's low enough. The selling is starting to ease, but I still want a lot of protection in case I'm wrong. So I don't usually buy calls on stock. I did back in last February, March. I bought some at Apple when it was really, really down low, but yeah, I don't do that very often. Some people just prefer to do options. Other people just prefer to do stocks. Quad says, I heard you mention defined risk and unlimited upside. So what are the downsides of it? The downside of it is your defined risk. And most likely your defined risk, there's a higher chance that you're going to, you know, so if your defined risk was $1,000, all you can lose is $1,000. You could make unlimited theoretically, but the chances of you losing your $1,000 are a lot higher than making unlimited. So there's always a payoff to it. Ava is here. Ava, nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for coming back and saying hi. Ava says, how does TSCO look to you? TSCO. Haha. Pretty good. Yeah, this is a return to value. Okay. It's pretty good. We came down, we came into the value. We did have a false breakout to the downside and a V2. However, me personally, I would not take this V2. It's too high. It is a nice return to value, sideways motion V2, but you know, I have a rule. I'm not going to take a return to value V1 or V2 if the price is at the 1 ATR channel or higher. And it is right there right now. That's, you know, from a standard deviation standpoint, that is its first level of resistance, and it's showing the resistance right now. So, you know, still a good risk to reward setup if you were to buy it, you know, halfway the washout bar is right about there. So, you know, maybe down to 160.20. And if we come up and revisit all-time highs or this recent high, then the risk to reward ratio is great. But just the rules that I use, the filters that I have would not allow me to buy it right here at the 1 ATR channel. Gary says, Quad, in short, options consist of time value and intrinsic value or in the money. The downside is being a buyer is that every day you have to hold the option, you lose time value. Yeah, the time decays against you. Gary says, that can really eat away at your money. I'm usually a seller of options to capture the theta or the time value on my side. Yeah, I'm the exact same way, and that's why I tend to sell options also. Quad says, thank you, Greg and Gary. Makes a lot of sense. David says, REGN, thoughts? Oh, and by the way, David, I need to reach out to you and Quad, and Miko. And Miko, I need to send you something. How does this look? Not bad. Under 30, over 30, has a V2 with a gap. False breakout to the downside here. Let's look over at the weekly. Weekly looks okay. Might have some issues up here at the 5-day EMA, but does it offer a good risk to reward ratio? You know, Sonny was asking me if, you know, when I have two signals, this is a V2, so I could use my stop signal of right here, or it's an under 30 over 30. I could also use a close back under 30 as my stop. That's further away than halfway the washout bar. So if Sonny's listening, I would use the stop that is closer. But yeah, it's not bad. Hope that helps, Dave. Kamal says ping. Yeah, it's an under 30 over 30. That is valid. I don't like this big bar here. And it looks like this big bar is this big. It's really not. It's really from here to here big, because here was the previous close. This is misleading. The real bar is this big, which there was a lot of supply, a lot of volume. Yeah, that one concerns me. All right, I have been looking at gold for an under 30 over 30. It certainly went back over 30 earlier today, but now it is back under 30, so I don't see anything here. BZUN, this is one that Frank likes to trade. This is a nice return to value, sideways motion, under 50, over 50, and a V2. This one's pretty good. I have to say that one is pretty good. 330,000 shares traded. I looked at it intraday, and the bid-ask spread is a little tricky, meaning that it's a little wide. So be careful about that. Ideally, if you are interested in BZUN, you'd want to get in on the bid if you could. But I do like BZUN so far. ACN. False breakout to the downside, V2. It's too high for me. It's already rejected the 1 ATR channel. This just tells me that sellers have already come in at this level, right? That's why it went back down. Doesn't mean it can't go up, but I just have to look at the information that I'm given at the time, and already it's been sold into, so I don't like that one as much. Cisco looks pretty good. This is kind of one of these hybrid trades, because we did move into the value zone, sideways motion. We did have a false breakout to the downside. Yes, we did. We did also have a V2 to the upside. Here is day 1, 2, and 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Day 3 closes above day 1's close. Two issues on this one for me. We have a gap that's larger than 1 ATR. That is concerning to me. And that's probably why I will not take the trade. And then also we're at 50.96. You know, if I decided that gap was okay and I was still going to take it, if it rejects the 50, the 50 RSI, I definitely would not take it. So all in all, I don't think I'm going to buy Cisco because of this gap. Netflix looks like it has a 520 crossover going right now. 520 crossover does backtest well on Netflix. Currently the 5 is 545.72. The 20 is 545.76. Oh, now it's under 69 and 75. So I would be interested in Netflix. I like the crossover here in this location. I like it right here in the value zone. So that is also something I will be looking at. CHKP, this is the one that Kamal got in intraday and is doing very, very well with. Couple things. Under 30, over 30. Yesterday, we had a rejection of the negative third ATR channel. 92% of prices hold there or stop going down. And we have a V2. This is all good. On top of this, it looks like we're possibly closing above the 5-day EMA, which has not happened since back here. Whenever you move down and finally you can close on the other side of a moving average like the 5 EMA, it's maybe a signal that something is changing. If I were to buy this, I have two options. My first stop could be a close back below 30, which would be down here. This is a V2. I would opt for the closer stop, which would be halfway of Friday's washout bar. So that's also a possibility there. Walmart, it's under 30, over 30, but you know how I am, everyone. I like to see multiple signals, and this is only one signal. This is only under 30, over 30, and the bar is not looking too hot tamale either. Bearish engulf, or not bearish engulfing, but a bearish kangaroo tail. We opened lower, we went up higher, and now we've given a lot of it back. So I'm still going to stay away from Walmart. I'd rather buy Walmart with a close over the 200 and have that strong support underneath me. PKI looks pretty good as well. Under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third, possibly a close over the 5 EMA. So that one looks pretty good. And then VRM, oh, this is the one that, oh yeah, VRM has the 520 crossover. I do show here on my charts earnings around 3.3. So it'd be a 2-day kind of hold kind of situation if these earnings are right. I'm not 100% sure. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm putting these off to the side. BZUN is pretty good. Netflix does have the 520 crossover. Checkpoint is good. I feel like it might be a little chasey at this point, however. Cisco, I don't like the gap. PKI is pretty good, and VRM has the crossover. With earnings coming up, we could have a nice run into earnings. That is sometimes how it works. Let's look at the weeklies here real quick. On the weekly, Buns positive has rejected the 5 EMA. That is good. We're back to halfway of yesterday's down week. That's a little concerning, but it did bounce off the 1 ATR channel, and it is holding the 5. So that's pretty good. It's not way up here, the 3rd ATR channel, so that's decent. Netflix, look at this. This is a V2 on the weekly as well. It's in the value zone. This makes me like Netflix even better. Checkpoint Software. Okay, so here's a confluence. Lilia, if you're listening, see what's going on here. We have an under 30, over 30 with the V2, which is great. But on the weekly, this looks good as well, because on the weekly, we rejected the 200-day 200-week moving average. Does that make sense, Lil? How we look at two different time frames and look for positive things. So yeah, under 30, over 30, V2, pretty close stop here at 110.60, and on the weekend we have rejected the 200 as well. So we have support of the 200 below us on the weekly, and we have support of the 30 RSI below us on the daily. PKI, looking at that weekly. It's okay. We're back above the -1 ATR channel. That is okay. That's pretty decent. And then VRM with the 520 crossover. Let's look at the weekly right there at the 1 ATR channel. For me, I am going to stick with Netflix today. And before I do anything like that, let me come over here. So I need to get rid of WBA today, that's for sure. And Eli Lilly, I'm getting half. So I'm going to sell half of my Eli Lilly right now. I mean, it's up, everything's good, but that's a little bit of a bearish sign for me to have that false breakout to the upside. And then let me sell over here. Half. What do we have? 10 minutes? Okay. Listen, hang tight. I have to take care of something. I'll be back in about 15, 20, 25 seconds. Okie doke. So let me put NFLX over there. Yeah, app vibe's good. Amazon's fine. I'm holding. Lily, I just sold half again because it rejected this previous high, rejected the 1 ATR channel. I'm not bailing out of the whole position. I'm just taking off half of what I have left and locking in those profits. SPY looks like it's off of its high. Of course, I'll buy that today at the close. Qs, my short Qs up against me today for sure, but still profitable on the trade. WBA, I have to get out of WBA today. I missed it on Friday. But I will be getting out of that today. And Williams and Sonoma is doing fine up to my trailing stop point. No problems. Let me clean up some things over here. Okay. All right, so we have about 7 minutes. Steve says, looks like I will be buying ABNB, CarMax, KMX, and VRM today, all with the 520 EMA crossovers. Makes sense? So Steve looks like he's buying ABNB, KMX, and VRM because they all have the 520 crossover. Paxton says, D says hi. Oh, that's great. Tell D hello for me as well, Packy. Thank you. Gary says, Yavar, that really depends on how close to the money you sell the options. I have been really fortunate to not get assigned all that often. If you really want to own the stock, then getting assigned can be a good thing. You are buying the stock at a discount. When I get assigned, I usually sell calls against the position, then rinse and repeat. Lily says, thank you for explaining. You are welcome, my friend. Gary says, but for Tesla, as an example, you need more than $70,000 to buy the stock if you get assigned. Yeah, you have to have a certain amount of cash in there to buy. That is correct. David says, Kamal, can I ask what you are doing with DKNG? He's making money is what he's doing. It's 68.92 RSI. So, you know, it's getting up to that 70 RSI area. Gary says, I only sell cash secured puts. Same with me. You've already, okay. So you guys talk about the option stuff. Kamal says, Dave, I'm holding it. It's the first day of a breakout after earnings, has not rejected the 70 RSI either. Good. All right. I just went ahead and got out of WBA. I'm glad I waited a couple minutes because it did come off of its bottom. So for me, it looks like Netflix, as long as the 520 EMA holds. Right now, the 5 is at 546.08. The 20 is at 545.86. And for you Bitcoiners out there, Bitcoin has a decent signal today. We have a return to value. We have sideways motion. We have a false breakout to the downside, and we do have a V2 when we're closing above 50. I'm not recommending buying Bitcoin or anything like that, but just as an example for any of you that do trade Bitcoin, these are the futures. This is the chart, but that's a decent setup. That's similar to the setup we had back here when it took. And that was a beauty setup. Doesn't mean it's going to do that again, but it is in the value zone. We've had a washout of this previous low over here. So yeah, everything looks fairly decent on that. So again, Netflix, I'm going to buy at the close because of the 520. EMA cross, as long as it holds. Good risk to reward ratio. I like the area that it's in. I sold WBA. I am out of WBA. I took the loss on WBA, and I sold and I locked in half profits on Eli Lilly. So pretty easy, actually. So I'm just going to be watching Netflix here to make sure this crossover confirms. What a day. I mean, another day. Very grateful for these great days we're having. Barring last Thursday, I guess I should say, right? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and buy Netflix here. Okay, that's that. Easy peasy. Okay. Wow, look at Netflix going the last 5 minutes. I'm glad I grabbed that a little early. I am definitely glad I bought that a little early for sure. That that is the market. Wow, what a day, everybody. Anytime in screen, I am grateful. Let's take a look and see where I got filled on all this stuff today. So I did buy the overnight SPY trade at 389.58, and I did buy Netflix at 549.94. So again, I bought Netflix with a 520 crossover in the value zone. I like the sideways motion. Hopefully we see a move up. We'll see. Maybe we'll see a move down. I don't know. If I only knew, I would tell you. I promise I would. 549.94 was the entry price. And then the entry price on SPY, nice overnight SPY trade, I have to say, 389.58. All right, and that is it. And then I did get rid of WBA, taking loss on that one, and I sold half of my shares on Eli Lilly here with the false breakout to the upside and the rejection of the -1 ATR channel. So if any of my students, past, present, have any new additions for me, Steve, if you have any, please let me know and I'll get them up on the board. Before I do, I just real quick want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I really love to teach. I think I teach a really good course. It's 15 hours, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. That's where you get the 15 hours. I teach you all 5 of the stocks trading strategies that I use. I teach you them step by step. You don't have to think, oh, should I not? It's all black and white. It's step by step. I've been using these for a long time. I'm very confident that they have an edge. And when you get done with the class, you will be a better trader. I promise you will be a better trader. And I think the one-on-one is the best way to learn. I really do. So if you are interested, all you have to do is send me an email. The email is in the description of this video. And just send me an email or send me a message on Twitter that says, Greg, interested in learning more about your one-on-one course. I'll reach out to you and say, great, thanks for saying hi. Let's set up an initial Skype call. The initial Skype call is just for me to get to know you better, learn a little bit more about your trading, what you're trying to achieve, your challenges, your goals. And then it's also a really good time for you to ask me questions about the course. And when we're done with the Skype call, obviously you can just think about it, and then in the future, if you decide you want to schedule it, just email me back and we'll get it all scheduled up and we'll get running. And then secondly, if you're not able to do the one-on-one courses, I have another alternative for you. I do have a new course up on Udemy. It's called the Deep Dip stock trading strategy. You see me use the deep dip all the time with the 200, the 250s, the 30 RSIs, all that kind of stuff. The course is a video course. It's I think it's 9.5 hours. It has 15 PDFs, study guide that goes along with it. And I teach you again there, step by step by step. And you can get that course on Udemy for a really good price. I think it's only $13.99. Yesterday I saw it, no sale. It was $99. Don't buy it then. Wait till there's a sale. Wait till you see it in the $15 to $30 range, $15 to $20 range, $13 to $20 range. That is a good price. I promise you, it'll just be me teaching you in the videos. And if you are interested in that, the link to the Udemy course is in the description. And then lastly, last piece of business, and then we'll get on to updating your accounts, is if you like today's podcast, I really, really would appreciate it greatly if you could hit the thumbs up button. It helps build the channel. It helps YouTube know that there's some valuable content here. And that's the only way they know, when people react to the video. So if you could do that before you click on out of here, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so we're done with business and housekeeping. Now let's see, where's Steve? Okay, let's get Steve's done first. A, B, and B. Steve is long A, B, and B. 197.82. And that is Steve with the 520 EMA cross. Okay, we got that one. CarMax, 121.84 with a 521. Sorry, excuse me, 520. 40. Wait, this is CarMax, right? Oh, VRM, sorry. Okay, 121.84 is CarMax. All right, so we'll put Steve up here. Okay, good luck on that, Steve. And then lastly, we have VRM, right? Yeah, we have VRM for Steve. And we have Steve buying VRM at okay, I think my computer just did its thing. Gosh, dang it. All right, I'm going to be patient with it. I don't know why. It always gives me problems at the end of the day when I'm updating this stuff. Gosh, darn it. All right, so in case it does this, I'm just going to write this stuff down. A, B, and B at 197.82. That's Steve. KMX at 46.69. And VRM at 197.82, and that's Steve also, and that's the 520 EMA crosses. Okay. Johnson said Netflix has a spread, FYI. Yeah, my computer did its thing, so I'm going to try to get past it and not even deal with it until after the podcast. Johnson says Unity has a close above 30 RSI, but last day today's candle is bearish. Johnson is in Netflix. Okay, very good. I wrote that down on my piece of paper so we can get that all done. Lovis says, made it through lesson 8 and 9 on Udemy today. It helped me with today's deep dick buy. Excellent. Kamal says, love it. Did you buy EXC? Gary says, Greg, did you say earlier that you emailed me? I don't see anything from you. Yeah, I did. I did email you with the insurance email. I'll email you again, Gary. I have something that you might be interested in with a few others. Let me take a look. I'm not going to give out your email, obviously. Yeah, I sent it. I did send it. Huh. It's not showing up though, huh? Is it the Insure Me one? Is that the correct one, Gary? I think it is. All right, so I have A, B, and B for Steve. I have KMX for Steve. I have VRM for Steve. I have Netflix for Johnson. Anything else today? I I don't see any other entries. Mama says, should we place GTC limit orders for emergency stops? That's definitely one way to do it, Mama. So, I always put limit orders in for my profit targets. And on the platform that I use, I cannot put in, let's say I have 100 shares. I cannot put in a good till canceled limit stop, emergency stop, and also above place limit orders for less than 100 shares, like OCO orders. So it's certainly one way you can do it, and you could just take profits to the upside when you see them, or change out your emergency stop, reduce it, and then sell. But me personally, I don't put them in the system, a hard stop in the system. I know where that hard stop is. I'm in front of the computer all day. If it gets there, then I will just sell it. But if you're not in front of the computer, wouldn't be a bad idea. You're right to put in your emergency stop as a good till canceled order below, and then manually hit your profit targets to the upside, taking into consideration risk first. But if you're in front of your computer, I don't put them in. But if not, I would put them in, and then I would just manually deal with taking the profits when I'm back in front of my screen. Does that make sense, Mamal? Leva says, Kamal, I bought a half position of EXC, but a full position of CART. So Leva, these are your new, okay, half position. Ava says, thank you, Greg, and everyone. Have a great evening. Nice to see you, Ava. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope we see you again. And hope your trading's going well. All right, so what is happening in after hours action? Apple up 61 cents. AdVibe up 11 cents. Amazon unchanged. Eli Lilly unchanged. Netflix unchanged. Q's probably up, right? 82 cents. SPY up 28 cents. That's a good start. Yeah, I wish I could show you TLT today, but if I even touch this button, it's going to freeze up. So I'm just going to do without that today. So if any of my students have any, Zoom beats. Gotcha. Wow, what a good day. I hope everyone had a good day. Mamal says, yes, but would we risk false breakout to the downside if I put a limit order for emergency stop? Okay, would we risk a false breakout to the downside if you put a limit order for emergency stop? Well, okay, so first of all, I would not put a stop limit in. A stop limit means if it gets down to a certain price, then it becomes a limit order, meaning it will only fill at that price. If I were to put in an order, I would put in just a stop market order. I would not put in a limit order, but let me see if that's what you're asking. Yeah, but would we risk a false breakout to the downside if I put a limit order for emergency stop? I think I understand that, but no, I would not use a limit order. I would just use a stop order, a stop market order. So as soon as it hits your emergency stop price, it just becomes a market order, because it could just run below you, keep running below you, and it didn't hit your limit stop and you're still in. So, I don't want to be fussy when it gets down to my emergency stops. I just want to know that I am out. Mamal says, I am not in front of the computer a whole day, just the first hour. Okay. Yeah, Mamal, I would just, I know you're friends with Kamal. Maybe Kamal could show you how to do that. But if you're not in front of the computer, yeah, I would just go ahead, be safe. And, let's say you have 100 shares of Netflix and you decide where your emergency stop is on Netflix. I would just go ahead, sell 100 shares of Netflix at that emergency stop price, stop market. And if it gets down there, you don't have to worry about it. It's just going to take care of itself. Yes, you hit your emergency stop, but you should be okay with what you want to lose there anyway. Once you come back to the computer, if your emergency stop has not hit and it's up in the profit area zone, or if it hits some profit target, then cancel that good till canceled order, cancel that emergency stop order, and then just manually take off however many profit targets that you've hit. That's what I would do. That's what I do if I'm not in front of the computer. Dan says, I'm told market makers can see stops, puts, and calls and vacuum the highest number of stops. Yeah, a lot of people believe that. Yeah, they do have the book. They know where that kind of stuff is. Do they do it all the time? I don't know. I really can't say. I'm sure they do it sometimes, but I'll bet you it happens less frequently than you think. I think it's one of those stories out there in the markets. I remember talking with Larry Williams. He was trading 1,000 contracts of bonds. We're talking 1,000 contracts, right? Not shares, contracts in futures, which is massive. And his stop was 2 ticks below where the current market price was. You would think that the market makers would want to set off his stop and be able to have 1,000 futures come through, but it didn't. So, I don't know if it's an urban legend. I'm sure it happens, but my gut feeling is it does not happen as much as people think it happens. Morg says, Greg, I'm halfway through your course, really enjoying it and learning a lot. Oh man, I'm so glad to hear that, Morgs. I'm so glad to hear that. I put a lot of work into that course, man. I'll tell you what, it challenged me as a human being to be able to put that all together. But I wanted it to be real step by step, paint by numbers, building upon itself. So I'm glad to hear that, Morgs. Thank you for the good review. All right, well, let me leave you off with this. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction, by Martin Kornfeld. So I say this every day, but listen, try to go out and do something nice for somebody today. Just try to improve their day, give them a hand, just be pleasant, be nice. If you come across an animal, please give it a little attention, maybe give it a little treat. Give it a little scratch on the back, speak some kind words to it. And, if you do one nice thing for a human each day and one nice thing for an animal each day, it will make the world a better place. And who knows, maybe that animal or maybe that human will reciprocate and one day will help you out if you are in need as well. All right. Okay. Mamal says, I think I understood. We'll sync with Kamal to make sure. Yeah. If you're not in front of your computer, just put a stop order in at your emergency stop. Just because you have the order in doesn't mean it will go off. It will only go off if it gets there. But I would not recommend using a stop limit order because you limit yourself, right? Has the word limit in it. You limit yourself to only getting out exactly at that price. And if you're down in that area, I just want to get out. So put in a stop limit order at your emergency stop. When you get back in front of your computer, you can always cancel that, and then you can get out of your profit targets manually. But I'm sure Kamal will be able to help you out with that. Kamal says, thanks, Greg. Have a great day. Nice trading today, Kamal. Proud of you, my friend. Really. Dan says, agree. Udemy system even keeps my place in the course. Nice bookmark. Oh, sweet. Sweet, sweet. So, all right. That's it for today, everybody. I appreciate you coming. I hope you have a nice day. I hope you hit the thumbs up button before you click on out of here. I would appreciate that. And so be good, be safe, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care now. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.